I ask the wise angels to guide me always to use this deck for the greatest good to others with insights, wisdom, compassion, genuine authenticity, and deep, deep truths. Hi guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Safe Space. Let's go ahead and start by letting our shoulders down. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your tongue. Breathe deep, deep breaths. And I'm assuming that you guys are in a comfy spot. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. And while we look for a comfy spot, while we are settling in, let's also let our original face settle in. You don't gotta smile, or if you want to smile, if that makes you feel comfortable, if that gives you a sense of comfort, just smile. But you don't need to if you don't want to, because there's no need to make others feel comfortable, because you are already comfortable. Just by breathing, just by being relaxed in your own body, your own skin. However, going into this reading, this is for the sign of Sagittarius. Going into this reading, lots of laughs, lots of dancing. We're all dancing. This is the time of the year where we come together and be goofy and do all kinds of silly faces and just be whoever we want to be. Oh, remember who we are for just a minute here, Sagittarius, and just keep up with those deep breaths and stay here. Again, welcome to Safe Space. Let's go ahead and get into your energy, Sagittarius. I do also have some notes here that I would like to share with all of you. It has been quite a ride since Sagittarius season started. I feel like Scorpio season was like eons ago. I don't even want to like remember that, but glad that I got through it. Still alive, still feeling alive. I feel also that going into Sagittarius season, after we felt all of those energy coming from Scorpio season, we are either completely drained and we're doing something about it, or we are resilient and loving and caring for others, and like they say, I'm going through hell, but I'm pushing through. I'm still moving, I'm still going, I'm still keeping myself as calm, because I feel like it is pretty difficult to stay calm at this time. And I think that might have been the reason why there was a delay on doing this reading. But I also wanted to take my time on this because I knew that I had to gather a whole lot of information. I had to gather myself, most importantly, because going into these readings, I like to come clean and clear with myself first before relaying messages, before relaying any downloads. And what I had picked up, the messages and the downloads that were coming in for me, it had me go into deep, deep reflection, self-reflection, And it had to do a lot with deep wounds rooted from childhood. Everything's rooted from childhood, right? Rooted from past relationships that might not have been the best or healthiest. And that might be coming up for us, Sagittarius. If you also have been in a very unhealthy, unstable relationship, those wounds might be coming up. And it is either you having to really sit with it and understand, or you're not. And I suppose that if you're not, and it is one that's driving you, it is one that is just like, oh, leading you to have this messy mind, leading you to move faster and not slow enough. So much of your fire also, you're mixing into that energy. It's just all over the place. Either we're in that position or we're in a position of calm. And we're looking at everything and everyone with a sense of calm. Sitting with it, understanding it, and although it may hurt at first, and it will, it is like having to put salt on your wounds, like that kind of feeling, like it just stings too much. It's like when you get a cut in your hand, you get a cut in your body, and you touch a lemon, right? It stings just the same. These wounds that are coming to surface, it may not be also coming from you, but it is one that other people that might be projecting onto you. You just happen to be the one there, and others are going, here you go. Do something with that, because I don't know how to do that. And it almost feels like they're not even asking, or to you, it feels like you have to be the one to be of service to them always. And as you are, Sagittarius, right? You are one having to be so attentive to others around you. But what happens when you're being too attentive and you're not getting that same kind of energy back, and that's not reciprocated back to you in the way that you feel is much needed for you also? Like you're just like slowly coming down, and you don't realize that the reason you feel this way is because of the pressures that you're getting from the outside. And although you may be having some wounds that are coming up to face you from you, you too are getting pressures on the outside. And those two can get mixed up together, and then it leaves you feeling so irritated. And it may lead you to feeling this way, but it isn't entirely coming from you, Sagittarius. Take this as it resonates. Let's go ahead and get into your energy. The tone of your voice, Sag, the way you deliver your words, the way you walk, the way you move. Triggering some, aren't you? People testing you, you feel like you're being tested constantly. And you may be. You may be. And people feeling irritable, and they are. Why do they feel this way? Why do you feel all the pressure around you? We're also going to talk about the things that made you feel less than. and the things that made you feel more, Sag. Let's start with these 4 cards that just came out. Bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Swords. Ooh, yes, I feel that too. Two cards that came up together. We have the Hangman, along with the 9 of Wands. Almost at the end is what I'm getting. We have the King of Pentacles along with the 3 of Wands. Yes, I do also feel a sense of heaviness there for just a minute. Almost at the end. Wanting and wanting and wanting. Desiring. Being of service, like what we talked about earlier. What is weighing us down? Let me drink some water, excuse me. I hope that everyone is cozy, comfortable, doing the things, drinking the things, smoking the things. Why are people getting so irritable? Why is Sagittarius getting so irritable? Why are we losing our patience at this time? You know, Sagittarius, we are very good at having to express ourselves fully. Fully. It either is you having to express yourself fully or you're not at all. There are times when it's just complete silence, Sagittarius, and then there are times when it's complete expression, all the way through. And when we are not expressing ourselves fully, we are not expressing ourselves fully. And I think it's because we're having to just really gather information, picking up energies on the outside as well, and you having to be in the center of it and just trying to understand what's going on around you. It's more so having to understand what's going on around you than what's going on inside of you, because you know what's going on inside of you. You know what's going on in your inner world than what it actually is happening outside. What is surrounding you, your environment, the people that you hang around with, your family, your friends, what's been going on with them. You having to be the one to pick up and care. You having to be the one to pick up and understand. You having to be the one to pick up and sit with them and listen. Most importantly, that is a skill, Sagittarius. So why are we being tested here? What is it that we're being tested on? And why are people so irritated around us? And that maybe perhaps we are not expressing ourselves fully. The people that we surround ourselves with, they're not expressing themselves fully. They're not in this sense of home. There's no sense of home in their inner world. And you see that and you feel that and you feel for them. Most importantly, you empathize with them. You either feel sorry for them or you empathize with them. Those are two completely different things, right? Completely different world view. And is also completely different, also rooted in two different places. And why are people so irritated? Because they are not expressing themselves fully. And when we are not expressing ourselves fully, it's either we're talking too fast, our mind is moving too fast. We're talking too fast because our mind is always racing. So we suffer. We bring ourselves into stress and we wonder why we don't have the glow. So we go and we buy all kinds of things that masks our pain. And we think that this is going to fix things, right? We think that this is the way out of feeling the pain. This is the way out of feeling the suffer. This is the way out of getting out of the insecurity, getting out of this pressure that my ex-boyfriend or my ex-girlfriend had put on me, and now I have to take care of it on my own. Now I have to fix it on my own. We come to a stop, we reflect on it, we make it known to us. And for some reason, Sagittarius, people around us are not doing that. You are so willing to heal and find the magic in the mundane and do the work, do the inner work, do the shadow work. Fireworks. And for some reason, you feel like there's so many people around you that are not doing that. And this is the reason why you may be feeling irritable, because you empathize with people so much. Why is it that you're willing to heal? Why is it that you're willing to put yourself in a position where you're able to see yourself and heal, and others aren't doing the same? And note that we all go through the healing process very differently from the rest. But you're questioning, Sagittarius, why are people not breathing in the way that they should? Why aren't people healing and not willing to heal? But I'm over here sitting and watching everybody literally about to hit a wall, literally about to die. Should I say something? Should I not say something? Meanwhile, I'm over here just chilling and my vibes. I'm just vibing out, just over here like, okay, seeing everything from a distance, loving everybody from a distance, putting my energy and having to work on myself. Assuming that everybody else is doing the same thing, right? I mean, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they want to feel good about themselves? Why wouldn't they want to heal parts of them that hurts so that they can get past that, get to a level of certainty, get to a level of peace? And not peace, but like peace for everybody, but peace for yourself. Because that, when you cultivate that within yourself, you are also radiating that out to everybody else. And so everybody is inspired. Everybody is just looking at everyone with peace. And it's like, thank God, heaven on earth, right? I also feel this past full moon that we just had is revealing a whole lot on our personality. And I feel like this is big for our Sagittarius. Sagittarius does have a big personality. You can tell by the way they dress. Big personality. Small, big, however your body is formed, it does not matter, right? It is revealing a whole lot of our identity, how we're showing up for everybody. Most importantly, how we always show up for everybody. This process of you getting up and looking your best, but most importantly, first feeling your best, looking your best, and your outfit matching your mood, right? Stepping out into the world and then having to show face, putting on that best smile that you have, right? That is your superpower, Sag. It shows in the way, it shows in your demeanor, it shows in your actions, it shows how you show up for people also. It shows in your reactions, in your moods, and how you walk and how you speak. And this may be why people are being triggered. People are really getting triggered now because you are showing up and you're just like, feeling myself, I'm looking my best, I'm doing my best. And while you are in that center, you're in that place of just glorifying everything that you have done for yourself. You're just like, well, shit, where do I belong? Where do I go? You know, you're seeing everybody else and it's not exactly what you had imagined it in your head, but everything else that you have in your head about yourself is perfectly fine. Doing the deed, making sure that everybody is okay around you, making sure that you're fixed, putting the pieces back together, and you are now whole once again. This full moon is revealing a whole lot on our personality, our actions, our behaviors, how we are toward people, the depths of one's identity, the depths of one's personality, revealing one's own true colors. And you're seeing everyone's true colors, Sagittarius, and I'm not quite sure that you're comfortable with that. You know, there is a lot of ego, lurking, pride. What makes a good conversation? If we were to just put the ego and the pride aside, understand our insecurities and not letting our insecurities get to us so we can have a good conversation. So we can have good conversations about our ideas, sharing ideas, looking at each other's eyes, looking into each other's eyes and being like, I see you, you see me, I see you for the way you are. It's like a mirror effect. You are mirroring who you are, and that feels like home, right? Focusing on gratitude and not letting society's pressures get the best of our talents, our abilities, our strength. I'm getting this like picture of you just, you know, flaunting, strutting your swag and your sense of style, and no one can take that part of you away from you. Reclaim your power, ask a dream for guidance, identify your emotional triggers. As you are stepping into the room, making sure that you're centered, making sure that you're embracing, most importantly, your true essence, Sag. Like I said, not letting society's pressures get the best of our talents, abilities, and strength. What comes with that strength? This style, this sense of style, this sense of swag that we put on, that is our strength. That is our sense of strength, right? That is our ability to show up for everyone else and show up for ourselves in the best way we know how. Don't care about what people think about what I'm wearing today, as colorful it is or as boring as it is. This is how I feel, right? We have the Ten of Swords. Too fixated on what we want. We're looking at everybody like they're too fixated on what is not essential. Gotta have this now, you know, that kind of attitude that we're seeing around. This takes away, it's like this attitude of when you take your kids to the toy store or wherever, and they're just like stomping their feet and they're crying and they're moping and they're just like, I want this now, I want this now. And this is what we are probably seeing out right now from everybody. Wheel of Fortune. And we're just like, what has the world come to? The Death card. I feel like too fixated on what we want now, too fixated on what we can have access to as fast as we can. And that takes away our quality of being more patient, all right? This is probably what our Sagittarians are picking up at this time. This is taking away our quality of being patient and caring a little less about what others think and caring more for the self. That takes away our patience for ourselves. This takes away our time to think for ourselves in our own terms, to reassess, reevaluate yourself in solitude that we sometimes won't allow ourselves to have because we want the things so fast. This can also be the reason why you feel so irritated. Because you're seeing this and you're just like, where's the quality in all of this? And why are people lying? Why are people saying one thing, but I don't see it in their actions? You know? Why are people saying one thing and then contradicting themselves? Where is the truth of it all? Where is the true essence? Where is the realness in all of it? And so while the rest of us slow down, sometimes even refusing to slow down, because as soon as you do, you see it all. And that's when Sagittarius is like, what the heck is going on around me? I'm just going to go in my corner, be the best that I can be for me, and most of all for everybody. Because when I'm feeling good about myself and looking good about myself, I know that I too am radiating that energy out to everybody, and that is what is inspiring us to be the best person that we can be for all. And while everybody else is moving fast, a group of us makes time to heal, time to reassess, rearrange, makes time to be available to everybody else around us, accessible to us, right? And while the rest is going against the current, just taking themselves out of the flow, doing all kinds of unnecessary things, there's just a lot in the air that is consuming, that we're consuming, that's not good for our thinking, our motivations, our motives, and it affects our performance. It affects how we work in the world efficiently and for everybody efficiently. Because either our insecurities is in the way, we're not tending to ourselves enough, there's a part of us that we're not watering and we're not taking care of, only to be rushed, only to rush to be all and all powerful, just to show off. There's no sense of quality in it, right? All to have this sense of superiority, this all-powerful having to be superior, like superiority over somebody. To have a sense of power over someone because there is inferiority inside. We can have less, superiority over people if we were to heal the pain in our heart and in our mind, if we were to just tend to this poison that we are feeling in our body. We can be less inferior. Am I saying that word correctly? We can be less superior over people. There's no need to be all powerful over people. It's just unnecessary. It's having to reclaim your power, but use it in the way that you know is best. Not use it over people because you have insecurities and you can't calm your ego down. The Empire is only one that stays still as still as the king himself, of one who moves, takes action for the rest of us, right? I am specific in my desires and believe in getting results. And by having to get the right results, patience is required of this. Absolutely. We cannot just demand something to happen so that we can have that temporary feel, that temporary feel good. Nothing good comes out of anything that needs to be temporary fixed. There has to be quality. Something rooted, a stronger, solid foundation, one that is tended by you, right? We also make room, creating safe space for our intuition, for it to flourish. When we do make space for our intuition to flourish, oh man, how things just come to us as clear as possible. It's so clear. And then we are less in pain. We are less in doubt. We put ourselves in love and not in fear. When we just have patience and let our intuition speak to us rather than having to go against it and just getting what we want right away. Like I said earlier about this full moon that we just had recently, this is everything that has been buried and is now revealing itself for what it is. And you're just seeing everything. You're seeing everyone's true colors and you're like, holy crap, I never thought this person would be this kind of person. Like now I have a clear indication of why this person is this person, why they act the way they do. I now have a clear vision, right? And it is one that is very, very disturbing because it is somebody that you really, truly care about. And at the same time, it hurts you to think that this person can ever be this kind of person to them, to themselves, knowing that you had this vision of them like, oh my God, they have so much potential, so much power they can reclaim, you know, but they're not seeing it in the way that you may be seeing it. When one renews the self, one accepts the self, period. And when we are in full acceptance of ourself, we are looking at someone the same way with full acceptance, pure love, and realness. And to us, Sagittarius, that is very important. And we don't understand why others don't see this. We don't understand why people don't take the time to give the care that they need to give for themselves as much as we do. You're over here like, while I am investing in my energy, while I am investing in my energy and everything is just flourishing when I'm investing in my energy, everyone else is somewhere else, and I don't get that. And there are ones who go with the system and ones who go with nature, and I suppose we are one to go with nature. And this may also make us feel isolated from everybody, because we almost always feel like there is no sense of belonging here, so I'm gonna go and create my own world, right? I'm gonna go ahead and dress up however I want to dress up. I'm going to speak however I want to speak and express myself in however I want to express myself. And it may not be one familiar to everybody, but this is one that I feel really safe and comforting in, comfortable in. As I said earlier, We find the magic in the mundane. And what comes of this is so much more than we can ever imagine. But first you had envisioned it, right? Because dreams offer wisdom beyond logic. And by having to identify ourselves, investigating ourselves every day by healing, when we investigate ourselves, we come into this place of self-fulfillment. Like we have now come into this place of like, oh my gosh, I see myself as I am. I hope everyone does too, because it just makes things easier. It also makes the conversations easier. It also makes the time together a lot smoother, the conversations a lot more calm. When there is no inferiority inside your heart, when there is no pain and poison inside your heart, it makes all conversations come easy. It makes the present time with you easy. There is no need to look for the bad in you and in me. There's only time and the here and now with you and the present time. And whatever comes with that is all grace and love and patience. And when there is poison in your heart and pain in your heart, we can't see each other in that way. It's almost way too impossible to see each other in purity and in unity, because we're so fixated on the pain that it's almost way too impossible to look at somebody and say, I love you so much. I care for you so much, just as much as I care for myself. You know, you ever look at somebody and say, I love you more than I love myself? That is love. And it's not love until you give it away, right? Making changes in one's behaviors, making changes in one's attitude. Most importantly, this changes the mood in the room. This changes the vibe all around. Let's make time. Let's make space to understand one another. Let's get rooted and be present together and understand each other. And we can talk about our pain and not let ego and pride get in the way of it. Because yes, I want to love you too, just as much as you love me. I want to love you too, just as much as you want to love me. Right? This is having to ground ourselves in our own wealth. Understanding your wealth, understanding my wealth. There's no need, no room for jealousy or envy. Get out of here. We don't want that shit here. Not in this place. We want to work together. Cooperate. Ugh. So much more we can do together when there's no pain and when there's no, when the ego is not driving us so much. Maybe we need more time. Maybe we need to realize that we are more than what we think. Maybe we don't give ourselves enough credit and we don't see our own wealth. Maybe there are a lot of things that has been hiding from us that we don't tend to and water. Maybe sometimes also we need to sit with ourselves and think about all the things we have accomplished and give ourselves credit for it. And not let ego and pride get in that way. There's no need to boast. Money is not everything. Trust me. It is not everything and all powerful. So much more than that than we think. There's so much more to ourselves than we think, than just having to get what we want right away just to feel good temporarily. When all in all, what we want is to feel good permanently, to feel good in this way always. And that is by having to just stay present and then allowing our body to speak and however it needs to for it to heal. Thank you for being so patient, Sag, and everyone else. Thank you for being so supportive of this channel. I hope that this reading put a light into something. I hope that you guys are having an amazing season. And although things might seem and feel messy, we still have plenty of time to change our inner worlds. It isn't about what's happening on the outside and what could be happening on the outside. It's everything about what's going on the inside that you can change. Perception and how we see everyone and how we see the world, but most importantly, how you see yourself first is how you see the world and everyone else around you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for letting me do this reading. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your season. Happy birthday. And I'm so sorry for the delay, but I hope this brought something to light. Keep that original face on, okay? All right. I'll see you guys later. Bye.